And TravelGuard founder, who's essentially the grandfather of travel insurance concept here in the United States, his name is John Noel. He offered a scholarship for me to go to University of Wisconsin in exchange for working at TravelGuard in their call center and essentially talking to customers selling travel insurance. And that's how I got into travel insurance. And now, fast forward to 43 years old, I'm still selling travel insurance. Sure. So travel insurance essentially is a policy that protects you while you're traveling. And in the most simple words, every time you travel 100 miles away from home, it doesn't have to be international, but also here in the United States domestically, you can essentially protect yourself from anything unforeseen that could happen, whether it's be accidents or you're prepaying $10,000 for your vacation and you want to insure that investment in case you're not able to travel on your trip. And you want to get your money back. So there's different components behind the travel insurance policy that is so interesting because it's a comprehensive market because you protect yourself, you protect your financial investment, and you also even protect your equipment while you're traveling. Specific to Battleface as a name, we were dealing with a lot of journalists who were going to a conflict zone, and they kept saying, we go out to a battlefield, we put our face out there, and nobody wants to insure us. And it's true. There's a lot of different demographics out there that insurance companies are staying away from. And in fact, they're actually really, really interesting travelers and very, very, from the risk perspective, are actually quite well-prepared travelers as well. So at the time, we were just solving the problem, and it was one of the co-founders of Battleface, Chris. He was in Israel at the time, actually. I remember him calling me on the phone, and we were going back and forth on the name, and it was travel is a battle, put your face out there. Then COVID-19 happens, and of course, just like everybody else in the world, we're thinking it's one of those short-term things. But then it was not so much. And everyone stopped selling insurance on April 1st. That's around the time when COVID-19 was declared as a pandemic. And what we started to see a lot of customers coming our way, because another component that we've developed in our system is that you can buy our policy while you're traveling. And then I think July of 2020, that's when people started to travel in Europe, and no one was offering travel insurance because of government travel warnings or COVID-19 or different exposures. We were one of the few players that were actually offering insurance, and because I still think it's because we figured out the problem for journalists, we became the darlings of the media. Parametric concept is not insurance. For me, parametric is technology, right? So how can you track all of these events and pay out immediately? Because there's still a component of the underwriting and decision making. In our world, in the travel insurance world, the do not travel exclusion could shift really, really fast, So for example, just because there's a pandemic, like Ebola exposure in a certain country, then all of a sudden it's declared as pandemic, and all of those incidents invalidates your policy. And so, what we wanted to do is actually, how can we fix that problem from the consumer perspective? So we're looking at the insurance product perspective because we are so passionate about travel insurance. We know it's extremely valuable. We've saved thousands of lives before and helped people from around the world. But then all of a sudden, the policies that I loved so much became extremely useless. And we went to Lloyd's of London and we started to dig into a problem. And it really comes down to pricing. What underwriters really wanted to have is an ability. It's not that they were afraid of those risks, what they wanted to do is walk away from the one-size-fits-all type of product, which is now filled with so many exclusions, because people started to travel so many different ways. They wanted to have a tech platform that can dynamically capture the customer's needs and deliver the right products at the right price real time.